WTF? Like, where the F is Steven? Who the F is Cristal's baby daddy? And what the F, Alexis? We are talking Dynasty Season 2, Episode 13. Even worms can procreate. Man, we have so much to discuss. AfterBuzz After Show starts right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
This episode should have been just called WTF. Like,
I know. I was just going to say, what just happened?
Honestly, the episode could have been 6 minutes long. It could have been 6 minutes. Everything crazy happened in the last 5 minutes where it's setting up everything. This is what an episode is supposed to be like. Like, every week I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, what more? Why are they not expecting? This was crazy.
Whatever can happen always happens with Dynasty, especially at the end of the episode. I'm like, okay, I need to watch the next one.
You have to watch it. You know, it's a thing where I vicariously live through them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I could handle this.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama. Everything that can go wrong goes wrong, like I said, and it just, yeah. This episode was too much.
It wasn't enough, if you ask me. Let's talk about the drama in this episode as we get right into the nitty-gritty of Dynasty Season 2, Episode 13. Even worms can procreate. We're going to discuss Fallon and Culhane. Wow. Sammy Jo, and he wants to be an Instagram thought. The Anders family and how they get in that. Where is Steven? I can't believe we still don't know. Blake, we got to get into Blake, Cristal, and do you feel like Blake jinxed the whole thing? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Is he mad or jealous? And of course, Alexis. That is its own special topic. We're gonna get into a special segment where we're gonna talk some fashion, and we're gonna discuss which was the best outfit of this episode. We saw a lot of great ones, and get into some predictions where I don't even know if a crystal ball could tell you what's going to happen on the next episode of Dynasty, but we are going to try right now. I am your host. My name is Tehran. I'm so happy to be here each and every week, and especially alongside my favorite co-host.
I am Maddie, at Maddie Pocks. Good to be here. I'm so excited to talk about this episode. So much happened.
It's good to be here because not everyone on the show is here right now. You know what I'm saying? Let's break down the overall thoughts on this episode.
Okay, well, it started off with kind of Blake going to Cristal and just kind of saying, you know what, I don't care if it's my baby. So that was, you know, a stepping stone for them.
So nice. You would think, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, and she even goes, oh, I haven't seen the side of you before. And it's like, wow, this is going to be a really heartfelt episode, and there's going to be no drama. They're really working it out now.
And then, skirt, let's take a turn.
Yeah. And then obviously at the end of the episode, that was insanity what happened, but I guess we'll get into that. And then obviously Mark Jennings shows up, and Alexis is trying to get into his head. And why does he agree to stay the night?
That's a great question. We need to discuss some Mark. Mark is and here's the thing. My overall thoughts is, honestly, this episode was a regular episode of Dynasty. Sure, you expect some things. We knew Mark was going to come after last week with Alexis, and we knew that was going to play a part. But what the heck? Like, Mark showed up just to die. Like, that's, I mean, it's just craziness how much drama happened in the last 3 to 5 minutes of this episode. And the Fallon Culhane thing, I'm glad we got that, but I'm also not happy what happened to Fallon and how she got fired and things like that.
I feel like she's going to come back.
Of course she's going to come back.
And her, they always fight. So I really think she's going to weasel her way back in there. And I knew that was coming with her and Culhane. It's like there's so much tension.
So much.
So much.
But overall, I loved the episode, of course. And if you didn't, then I don't know. Even if you don't like Dynasty, you have to love this. This was great. Let's talk Fallon and Culhane. So Fallon and Culhane, Fallon obviously gets hired to be a part of the soccer team and Carrington family business. And why do you think Blake hired Fallon in the first place?
Well, I mean, he's her dad, and he wants her to keep busy, I think. And he's like, you know, you're not an idiot. You're smart. You know Culhane, even if you're not together anymore. So maybe he thought everyone could get along. And, you know, it is a good dynamic, the three of them. But obviously, there's still, like, in ex-boyfriend girlfriend mode.
100%.
So it's like,
and that was very clear in the episode. That wasn't just business tension. That was sexual tension. That was emotional tension. That was unresolved issues. I think everyone could see that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Blake did it as a father Sure, I think that was part of it. Like, let's bring Fallon in. I know you're smart. Let's have you involved. But I also thought maybe he's trying to control Culhane a little.
Yeah, and Culhane snapped at one point, and he was like, "I'm sick of you like treating me like his driver is
Exactly.
still right." So I see that so much tension is built up, but I'm happy they released it.
I mean, they did. Okay, so them having sex, I saw it coming from a mile away.
I know,
just because
me
of
too.
how upset they were at each other all the time, and that's really sometimes.
Most of the time.
Sometimes that's how it plays out,
Yeah.
okay? Consensually, but that's how it plays out. And it was just, did you expect it?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're not together all the time, but they run into each other, and then they're in the same office, and she's like, stealing his clothes out of the gym.
Exactly.
And there's going to be fights. And then the only way in this case, it seems, to get over that is maybe just get it out.
Just get it out of the way.
Get it out.
Do you think, okay, watching them get it on, knowing, first of all, clearly there's sexual tension there. They're physically attracted to one another. They have history. But does this mean that they will have a future?
I'd like to see them try again. I don't know. I mean, I think she's a little lost right now, so I think she needs to be alone for a little bit, and maybe a couple years down the line could work out.
Couple years? I don't have a couple years. I have
I
maybe
don't think either of them do.
2
actually.
episodes left before I need them back together.
Yeah.
I don't know if Fallon loves Culhane or loves who Culhane is in her life.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny because when they first started seeing each other, like season 1 and stuff, like it feels like she loved him in season 2 and stuff, but like it kind of goes back to when they were first hooking up. Like she kind of was just using him. Like, 'cause
Exactly.
he was around.
He was around. And it was also the like forbidden fruit. There was this temptation involved. There was, this is the driver. It was sneaky. It was on the low. So does she love him now? Because I don't know if she actually loves him or she likes the partner. Them together as a power couple. It's almost as if it's a great pairing and it's a contract of some sorts between two people that know if we're together, we can take over the world.
That's difficult. I guess we'll have to see. But I would like to see them get back together. I think he's a really good guy.
Especially on the show right now. There's no one else that matches Fallon unless they introduce a new character.
He really brings her down to earth, too. He'll just call her out and be like, why are you being ridiculous?
He knows how to keep her in check.
Yeah.
He definitely knows how to keep her in check, which is like important in their relationship. And we see Fallon overstepping. I don't want to call it overstepping her boundaries, but definitely pressing her and being aggressive in her opinion in their business situations.
Yeah.
And Culhane checked her several times. Like, this is me. You're here working basically for me in a way. You know?
She's not used to it.
She's not used to
She wants to be the one in charge.
Exactly.
And she has
She's
been.
just used to being in charge all the time. It's such an interesting dynamic between these two. Culhane, will he survive being a Carrington though?
I feel like he seems like when I see what's going on with him and Blake, it's almost like he feels trapped a little bit. Like he's afraid to quit.
So why still be there? He always brings that up. And then why still be there?
The money, he worked for him for so long. Like, it's like, now he's stuck because it's almost like his immediate family now. And he's just been a part of their lives for so long. So he's just probably like, I can't screw over Blake Carrington. And he's probably scared of him too. I would be.
I actually disagree with you. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I don't think he's afraid of Blake. He thinks he can handle anything. And which is why he constantly puts himself in these even crazier situations than they need to be.
Yeah.
Because he feels like he can handle it and he feels like he belongs. I think he's addicted to it. I think Culhane is addicted to the Carrington family. He wants to be in the Carrington family. And more importantly, Culhane thinks that he could be a better Blake than Blake.
That's true. That's a good point. He's way more sympathetic
But it's a manipulative sympathy. It's not actually a truthful one. It's the one where it's like, I know how to get people on my side in a different way. While Blake is more the bully, I'm more of the ally, and that's how I get them.
Well, he's a lot more real than Blake. Blake's just like stone cold, and he actually can genuinely care about someone, it feels like. I mean, so can Blake, but there's always like a hidden agenda with Blake. So,
but I feel like there's always a hidden agenda with Culhane too. He knows what he's doing. Even the way he snuck himself into the managing partnership, and the way he's basically grabbing power in the Carrington organization. He's at turning people kind of against Blake.
He's sneaky.
You're
right. Yeah, you're right.
See what I mean? Like, he's very sneaky. So it's just an interesting concept of what he's doing right now. Do you believe Fallon should have got fired?
No. Not fired.
See, you're saying that because she's Blake's daughter. That's the only reason.
Yeah,
anyone else in her position.
I have a soft spot for her, like I said last time.
In that position. That's because you're Fallon.
No,
you're
I'm not.
Fallon. You're Fallon at
I am
your
not.
car.
I just, she's a handful, but I feel like, okay, maybe she should have gotten fired because she, for the last time, needs to learn her lesson. You can't do that to people. And you know what? I was going to say maybe not, but now that I'm thinking about it, she should be fired.
She should have been fired. Yeah. I think, and I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Should Fallon have been fired or not? Let us know. We're taking a poll. Guys, you already know what it is. Should Fallon have been fired or not? And before we get to the next topic, Maddie, talk to the people.
Yes, I have a message for you guys. So before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. And please comment on our video and let us know your questions and comments of this show and this episode. Also, no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation, like I just said. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows. Thanks so much, guys.
I love that, and I love each and every one of you. Please comment below. We'd love to hear from you. If you're listening to us on iTunes, just share, subscribe, rate, give us that 5 stars. We deserve it. I feel like we deserve it. We deserve it, but you know who doesn't deserve it on the low? Sammy Jo. Let's talk about Sammy Jo and his quest to become an Instagram thought.
Oh my God.
That's what he's trying to be, is an Instagram hoe.
I know. I was laughing so hard. It's kind of cute though, him and Kirby bonding over that.
They are bonding.
And then he gets Anders involved, which is kind of smart. Everyone, wants to see, like, okay, there's so many Instagram famous people who are like billionaires or in that sort of setting, and they have so many followers because people love to see that lifestyle. So I know he's trying to be like the good guy and be like, I'm going to get famous and do all this charity work, which is amazing. But it's just so funny to see as soon as he features his butler, Anders, he gets like so many people commenting and liking and following him. That was hilarious.
And okay, so with Sammy Jo becoming an Instagram thought, good idea or bad idea?
I don't think it's going to get Steven interested again, because Steven's like, he is a billionaire, but he likes to stay away from the limelight.
He does. Exactly.
So
that's what I'm thinking. First of all, Steven's not even involved. We're going to get into where is Steven, because we need to know. But with Sammy, this is very counterproductive, I think, in a lot of ways. First of all, I think it's going to get to his head. It's going to go to his head, because he's already very obsessed. He's already, everything is an Instagram moment. Everything is a live stream and all these things. Secondly, I think that it's also going to backfire with the work that he thinks he wants to do.
Yeah.
It's going to lead possibly to him cheating again.
That's true. Someone might slip into his DMs.
Exactly.
Like,
slide into his DMs and he's not getting the attention. And also, I think it's going to be used in a way, because right now it's its own standalone plot, but they're going to tie it into the rest of something.
Yeah.
And either Fallon or Blake or Culhane or Jeff, who we haven't really seen, who still, let's remember, Jeff still has agendas on his plate too, is going to use it for their own good.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope. And I think now, well, we'll get into it, but what happens to Steven at the end, it's not going to help that Sammy's like posting all this stuff on social media.
Exactly.
Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know.
I don't know if it has something to do with that yet, but I think that it definitely will play, because we need to get that loose end needs to be tied up. They've carried us with that plot line with no information for several episodes now. I think it's going on at least 4 episodes that I can think of where we just get no information, just a tidbit. We didn't even get a touch of it last week, but tidbits of Steven, and it has to tie up, especially because Sammy's living like a very eventful life. In the absence, Steven's been gone since December.
Yeah, and like Steven's gonna look at his social media accounts and stuff, or his social media Instagram now, and be like, looks like you're having so much fun without me at like my family's house and posting all this stuff, and it's backfire. I think it's going to be
extremely counterproductive, right?
Yeah, like, because no one wants to see that if you're away from someone, and you know, he ended up getting mugged or whatever. I'll say that now.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Well, we can actually get. The only thing I wanted to talk about before we got into that was the Anders, because now we see Kirby and we see Anders both. Of course, Kirby's Anders' daughter, just for those who haven't noticed. But the concept is we see them both bonding with Sammy. Someone who first of all, Kirby was kind of like an outsider to begin with, and now she's gradually becoming a part of the family. But Anders was definitely very wary of Sammy Jo's appearance when he first showed up on the scene.
Yeah.
And now you see even Anders is helping out. Do you think Anders is doing it because he sees the bond Sammy has with his daughter Kirby?
Yeah, I think so, but we have to remember that also his son is Steven. So he's like, okay, well, I care about my son. And
exactly.
This is his boyfriend, fiance, whatever. And, you know, I really want to make everything right. I don't want drama. And it was really cute when he filmed that video of himself at the end. And he was just like, you know, you can call me #dad, and like just trying to be like cool.
But he wasn't
and young.
shipping them in the beginning. That's why I was.
Yeah,
this change of heart. I think Kirby has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and in the beginning, obviously her showing up wasn't good. Everyone didn't want her there, so I think he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm
gonna accept it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna let Sammy do his thing, and I don't really agree with it, but you know, I'll get on Instagram and be the butler.
And it was like the best thing to happen too.
Yeah, it was super cute.
Got a lot of likes. I need a butler. That's what I really need.
know. So that's what I was saying. It's like all these people who are have so many followers on Instagram. It's like they're all like billionaires and have butlers and stuff. And I was like, he could film that and he'd get so many followers, but it's like that's not going to get Steven's attention.
It's not going to get Steven's attention.
That is so opposite of Steven. That's why I love Steven in the show.
Really? You love Steven? Because we don't even know where Steven is.
I know, but I mean from previous season one and whatever, he's just he's the most down to earth thing, and he's just like, nah, I don't care. I'm gonna go and do this thing.
He's a little down to earth in a lot of ways, but he's definitely still very much a billionaire.
Yeah.
He's been gone since December. Okay, let's talk Steven. Let's talk Steven and Sammy. I know we've been holding this in.
I know.
Where the F is Steven?
Okay, well, we know he's not in Paraguay anymore.
Well, did he ever actually go to Paraguay?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, so Sammy tries to call him and it's cutting out, and he's like,
allegedly cutting out. It was definitely one of those.
Do we think he's lying?
I can't.
I know.
I'll hit you up. Tunnel.
Oh my God, that's so sketchy.
It's so
he's
sketchy.
like, I got mugged. I'm not in Paraguay. And then it's like you can't hear anything else.
Which is clearly the worst thing to say, because now Sammy, who wasn't worried, is super worried.
Do we think that he never was in Paraguay?
I don't think he ever was. Now, if you remember, 2 episodes ago, he was at the dinner table, and we didn't know why. And before that, he never got on the flight to Paraguay, and they told us that. So we know for a fact he never got on the flight, and they told us, they called Anders, and Anders knows that they never got on the flight. So now we get this suspicious call where it's like, oh, I got mugged in Paraguay. No, you didn't. You couldn't have. You weren't there.
What is he doing?
What is he doing? And who is he with? And where is this actually leading?
Do we think there's another guy?
I don't know, because this is the worst way to cheat ever.
I know.
Like this, if this was cheating, this is the most complicated cheating scandal.
Why are you going all the way to South America? Except we don't know if you're there.
That's
you
what
have to run away.
Or you could have been there and been like, everything's great, I'm having a great time, and then just done your thing. So what's really going on? There's a lot of backstory that's missing out.
Yeah.
We need to get a lot of this information.
I'm at a loss of words. I can't even think of what he's doing.
And this is and they're not giving us information. So while you're watching the show, we all, as unanimously, have no idea what Stephen is. Everything at this point is a theory. So is he actually kidnapped?
Well,
Let's throw it out. Yes or no?
I mean, it's the Carringtons, so probably is kidnapped.
Is he cheating? Maybe.
Maybe.
Is he in Paraguay? You know what? Maybe.
He's definitely not in Paraguay because he said he wasn't.
I know, but we don't know because
we don't know.
He said he was before and he wasn't, so now he might be and says he's not. Because especially because Sammy wanted to go and visit.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. The Stephen storyline is confusing, and we need to get some tie-up or at least a little more information. Because at this point, it's dragging out. And what's making it drag out even more is the fact that Sammy is living such a different, opposite, normal life, as if he's going on and he hasn't talked to his husband but maybe 4 times in the last time-wise of the show, 2 to 3 months. So what's going on? I mean,
it's bad too. If he's actually kidnapped, he's gonna look at Sammy's posts and be like, I've been kidnapped this whole time, and you're like, you have this famous Instagram account.
Well, when he gets off, because we're hoping that Stephen gets back, he's gonna figure out what's going on, and that might be his excuse. It might be something.
He'll be like, I need a break. Like, what, you just try to be an influencer while I'm like in a foreign country and I'm not doing well, or I'm kidnapped, or whatever happened to him. Right? That's like a turnoff. When you're like,
I mean, or also it could be something that whoever he's in cahoots with or being kidnapped with use, like, this is your value, this is your husband. We're gonna need you put 10 million in a duffel bag and bring it here, or here's his pinky. You know, I mean, I don't know, because we don't get enough information about Stephen. They've been giving us tidbits, but nothing more. So if you're listening from Dynasty, we need to know what happened to Stephen. That's where we're at right now. There's nothing. A person we do know exactly what's going on with, we just don't know their emotional state, is Blake. Blake has been going through a roller coaster of I wouldn't even say emotions, but just actions. From telling Cristal, I love you, it doesn't matter, to basically arranging the assassination of Mark Jennings, then calling it off, firing his daughter. Is he mad? Is he jealous? Is he power hungry? What exactly is Blake's state of mind?
I think deep down, like you said before we went on air or whatever, he wants to be in power. Like, he's on a power trip. And I also think he's like a little bit lonely. So he doesn't want to be alone.
Oh, wow. That's a good sight.
So he doesn't want to be alone. So he's kind of just like hanging on to Cristal.
A great perspective.
And because if he loses her, who does he really have around? He doesn't want Alexis.
He doesn't trust Cristal, but that's the person he trusts the most.
Yeah.
And he doesn't trust her fully. Obviously, she's lied. She's still lying. She's a different person.
Yeah.
Calling herself Cristal. We know all these things. The baby may or may not be his.
Yeah.
I mean, but in the Dynasty Carrington world, that's still trustworthy, because everything else you've done has definitely been trustworthy, and she's put in effort.
Yeah, I feel like he just doesn't really have anyone right now, because he doesn't want he doesn't want Alexis, obviously.
No, look, and we're gonna get into how no one wants Alexis.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And I mean, Fallon's his daughter, but that's not the same as obviously having
a love
someone there.
Intimate relationship.
And there's just been so much that's happened that he's probably like, I can't even think about getting another girlfriend or going through, like, trusting another person. So he's probably just like, you know what, whatever.
Were you surprised by Blake's willingness to accept the baby, even if it wasn't his?
A little bit, but like I said, I think he's just tired. Like, he's like, you know what, I love this person. I'm not gonna like get rid of another person in my life. She seems genuine, even if it's not my baby. Like, he was just like, okay. So I kind of feel bad for him at this point.
Wow. Feeling bad for Blake.
a tiny bit.
Do you think Blake was wrong in firing Fallon?
I do and I don't. I think she needs to learn a lesson. I think he's...
And Blake is really good at teaching people lessons. Like that's...
Yeah.
I feel like he enjoys doing that.
Yeah.
Where he is the one, he's like, listen, I'm teaching you. Now you're going to learn. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now you're going to learn.
I think he was right to do that, but I think Fallon's going to come back because it's his daughter.
It's his
she'll
daughter.
Be like,
and he has a soft spot for Fallon all the time.
Of course, yeah.
Deep down, he really does. He's shown it several times over. Do you think that Blake and Culhane will ever be able to get along?
I think so. I think as soon as now him and Fallon are kind of over their thing. So I think I see them three going into their business and doing a lot of good things still. I don't think it's over yet.
Do you think Blake would treat Culhane better if Fallon and Culhane were married or an item? Would that make Blake more willing to accept Culhane not as a rival or a partner, but as a son?
That's hard because I'm trying to think of how he treated Culhane before he knew him and Fallon were even hooking up in season 1 and stuff. I think it'll be the same. I
felt like there was a shift. He started seeing Culhane's potential.
Yeah.
He knew Culhane was special, which is why he hired him in the first place.
Right.
Because Culhane is a clever, quick person. But I feel like there was a shift in if you can't beat him, join him. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can't get rid of Culhane. The more I try, he's sticking around more. So let me instill him with at least enough wisdom because no one else in my family can take over when I'm gone. My mortality, my legacy, my continuation. But Culhane could be the son that I've always wanted. Even though Jeff would take such a good mantle of doing that, but Jeff and Blake can never.
Yeah, I'm definitely team Culhane over Jeff.
Yeah.
I like Culhane way better. I would like to see Culhane and Fallon be together again. I don't know if the dynamic with the business will shift that much because it's like they already all... It seems like Blake really respects Culhane now. I don't think he'll be like...
Now, Culhane has earned it. He's earned it.
Yeah, because, he's been by his side for so long.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you think that Blake wanted Mark dead?
Okay, well,
and
maybe
why?
Okay, maybe like the old. Well, it's not like Blake has changed that much, but maybe back a few
He's
episodes.
gotten softer, right?
Yeah, so
the old Blake would have just had Mark killed. Like,
right?
This
Yeah,
Blake
that's what I was gonna say.
calls it off.
He doesn't want to make the mistake that he made before, and he wants to make Cristal happy. He can't. Cristal's not going to stick around if Blake hires a hitman or whatever he did, like to kill
Allegedly.
Mark. Yeah, or whoever
Allegedly.
he called. It was like the driver or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's trying to be smart about it. I don't. He just wanted to hurt him, like beat him up or something. Yeah. I don't think he called that guy and was like, "You should kill him." Like he was just like, you should show him that Blake Carrington is boss or whatever the quote was.
I don't know.
Along those lines.
Sure, it was definitely something violent. And as we've seen, things go wrong when they do that. So,
yeah, so
like you said to begin with, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong on Dynasty.
Yeah, it will.
So he knew that when he made the call. And then he retracted it. Was that shocking to you?
Not shocking, because he's trying to do something good. But it's funny now that he's trying to be the good guy, and everyone, or not everyone else, but there's someone else who does the dirty work for him.
Alexis, who we're definitely going to get into Alexis, who deserves an entire segment on her own. With Blake, do you feel he jinxed the situation?
A little bit, yeah. I mean,
it foreshadowed it, right? When you were watching that, because you expected something on Mark, just not the way it happened.
I was expecting, so he made the call saying, okay, never mind, don't go after Mark when he's leaving. And I was thinking in my head, because she goes, let's go for one last ride. I thought that hitman guy would have gotten them anyways.
Anyway, as in he didn't get the message.
He didn't get the message,
and he didn't, and then he was going to be blank. And it was like, oh no, I did this.
Yeah, I was thinking
that's what I thought too. That's where I thought the twist was going to go. And of course it didn't go that way at all.
No.
It went in the direction. Before we get into the direction of where it went, what did you think of Mark Jennings?
When I first saw him, I thought he was really cute.
Yeah, he's
a
good
lot
looking.
cuter than Blake.
He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Let's not. Well, he's like
good-looking.
the soccer star. He's you know he's got his Ronaldo thing. He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
But what did you think of him as a person? Was he a good guy?
He seems okay.
And I used the word was.
Yeah.
Was he a good person?
He seemed really in love with her, obviously.
He did. He was very in love with Cristal.
Very in love with her. But he was really aggressive, like not letting her go. Like he could have just been like, no, I'm out of here. Why did he want to stay over?
He stayed the night, which was a little interesting.
Why does everyone who go to their manor or house?
They have an amazing house. I might want to stay the night too. I might want to live there. I would become Sammy Jo.
Yeah,
maybe
true.
I would marry Steven just to be part of this family.
It's like a trap, though.
Anything. I would be Culhane. I love me some Fallon now. Like the whole nine. With Mark, did you think that Mark was being conniving and manipulative, or was he just in love?
He was holding on to whatever he could grasp of Cristal. And then it's like, okay, so I think he would have left way before if Alexis wasn't in his ear.
Alexis was definitely, and we can't talk about any of this stuff without the tying piece, which is Alexis.
Right.
So let's talk some Alexis.
Yeah, we got to talk about her.
Let's get into Alexis. Alexis was definitely the clog and the cog in the wheel of this one. She was the linchpin. She was the hand grenade. Alexis. Let's talk some Alexis. Alexis setting up Cristal and Mark.
Conniving.
Definitely conniving.
Yeah, as she always is. It's a little...
But this one was more. This was more than the normal Alexis conniving.
Yeah.
She was trying to eliminate Cristal.
It's like, I don't think she actually like wants Blake back, but she just doesn't want him to be with anyone.
She doesn't, exactly. It's as if she doesn't want him to be happy or to have moved on because she hasn't moved on.
Yeah.
I feel like Alexis needs a relationship, which I was shipping Anders for a long time, but this episode showed me it's not Anders.
There's no connection anymore. She needs a new guy.
She needs a new guy. We need a new person. To come in for Alexis. But Alexis, of course, makes the call, gets Mark to come back, and then is the one consistently being the devil on the shoulder, telling Mark, oh, you should go for it. Oh, she loves you. She wants you.
Yeah, he finds out, though, that that's not true. But then, he's ready to leave, and he's like, okay, like, because he seems a bit normal. He's not going to be moving in there or anything. But it's a shame that he goes on this last ride.
The one last ride, which we all know, when you have that one okay, let's do one that's when you break your leg in basketball or lose all your money in poker. Don't go for the last thing.
Yeah, well, especially in Dynasty, something's going to go down.
Yes. So let's set up how Mark died. Or we're thinking he's dead, right?
Yes, but okay, so we see Alexis drinking by herself, huge bottle in hand. Anders is like, get out of here, which is like, he was kind of mean about it.
It was very mean. Especially we had just seen a softer side of Anders with Sammy Jo, where it was almost like this dichotomy. All of a sudden he went to this, no one wants you here.
Yeah. And
no one needs you here.
It was so mean. And she was obviously like wasted. She's like, oh, okay, whatever. And she goes down to the gun room, gets a gun. She's like walking across the property, goes that fence.
And it looked like she was going to commit suicide.
I thought she would. I was like, no, I actually like her as a character. I know
of course,
she stirs
she's a great
it up,
linchpin.
But yeah, so she puts that letter there, and then she's like about to do it, and then she sees them riding.
She sees the last ride. The last rider is like, we're going to go on a last ride. And how was she such a good shot when she was drunk? Can we talk about that?
I don't know, but I think, okay, so I thought she was aiming for either the horse or for Cristal. I didn't think she would shoot Mark. That was surprising.
Oh, I was like, how is she such a good shot when she's so drunk and wasted?
She probably meant to hit Cristal.
She might have thought to hit Cristal, or I didn't even think about the horse. A lot of animal activists would be way more mad.
I don't want
shoot the people, not the horse.
Yeah, I obviously don't want her to hit a horse, but that's what I thought she was aiming for when it was like showing her, and it seemed like she was like off.
She was like moving, and then pop. And I don't know if you've ever shot a gun. I don't know.
I haven't.
It's very difficult to hit.
And you have?
It's very difficult to hit things. I have, and it's not easy to hit a target, especially a moving target.
Right.
Especially from so far away. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
it's not like the movies, which obviously Dynasty is a TV show, but it's not like that. It's a difficult shot. So she should get an award for something of some kind because it's a very difficult shot.
Yeah.
So she shoots Mark, and we're thinking Mark's dead, right? I mean, this is death. That was a pretty much a kill shot.
I would assume he's dead, but
It's Dynasty, exactly.
It's not Dynasty. He's definitely gonna live.
You think he's gonna live?
I think he will.
Oh, we gotta talk about that in predictions.
I think so.
Because I was like, it looked dead. He looked dead. It was dead. It was
Yeah.
like pop off the like.
You never know.
I mean, even Christopher Reeves didn't get shot, fell off a horse, and was like paralyzed. Like this guy, he might be. That would be crazy because he's a soccer player, ex-soccer player. If he was paralyzed, okay. Anyway.
Okay. Well, we'll get into that.
That's prediction stuff. So we're getting a gunshot. We're getting Mark killed, but also in the beginning of this episode, we see this is a bookend. In the beginning of the episode, we start off with Cristal riding a horse and Blake being like, "This can't be good for the baby."
Yeah.
And Cristal telling the story like my aunt had a child or something and she would ride a horse and it's perfectly fine. I would love to know from any of our listeners or viewers who are knowledgeable. I don't think riding a horse can be good for a baby.
No, you're
you
like
can't even get
bumping
on
up
a
and down,
roller
right?
coaster. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not safe. But she, well, I'm not going to say this in a mean way, but she jinxed it because the end she gets dragged.
That's what I'm
right?
saying. So I feel like that's the bookend. So in the beginning we see that, and she's like, "No, it's perfectly safe." And
No, it's not.
Wait, it's not safe. Where she's getting dragged by the horse, she loses that baby, right?
I don't want her to, but that's what it's insinuating. Obviously,
that she's losing
dragged.
the baby. She's being dragged. I mean, now, I don't care what anyone says. Maybe riding a horse could be safe for a baby. There's no way in no world is being dragged by a horse safe for a baby.
Yeah, it's like she got knocked out too. It's not like she was dragged and kind of got up or something. Like she was
unconscious,
very injured.
Very injured.
Yeah.
Could be something even more, something unsustainable for her body, which we'll find out. But that was just a shocking scene at the end. It really was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like there are only a few whoa moments in television history. That was a whoa.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, that was.
Not at all.
I mean, in Meet Joe Black, there was the scene where he walks and then a car just hits him out of nowhere. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, you're
this
like,
was a
okay.
whoa. Yeah, this was definitely a whoa scene. Mm-hmm. Is it Alexis's fault? Is everything right now Alexis's fault?
Yeah, because
the easy answer is yes.
Yes. You know what? I mean, I'm not making excuses for her being like wasted and almost killing herself, and I feel bad that she was in that like
state of mind.
But I just hope that when this happens, and like, I hope that she is like, they know it's her that did it, so she doesn't get away with it.
Does she get away with it? I think she gets away with it.
For a little bit.
It definitely looks like Blake did it.
Yeah.
Because I think whatever happens, Cristal maybe finds out about the phone call, and it seems like Blake's guy went through with it. Because who's going to blame Alexis or even be able to think that Alexis has the ability or capability to do that?
Yeah, they didn't show her running or anything at the end. So it's like, but obviously knowing her, she's going to run.
She's just going to go back, or we're going to figure it out. There has to be some type of police investigation on this, right? Or do they keep it secret?
Blake's going to cover it up, I think. I don't know. I mean, knowing him, he's going to be like, this is going to be not all over the news, but just like a huge thing. So he's definitely going to try and cover this up, I think. What do you think?
I mean, they have to. Whether it's for Alexis's or the Mark Jennings thing, or the concept that Cristal's baby father is Mark Jennings, there's every reason to have to cover this up.
Yeah.
This is even more than the Jeff thing. And it's not like they haven't covered up a shooting before.
Yeah.
You know? So I really think that they have to cover this up. I just don't know what happens to Alexis if everyone finds out that it was Alexis's fault. So think about Cristal finding out it was Alexis's fault. Man, this is going to be bad. The fallout for this is going to be bad.
I know.
Especially if Cristal loses the baby.
I hope she doesn't.
Because then Blake himself is going to go after Alexis.
Yeah.
If this was like Big Brother, she would be the one kicked out of the house, you know?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think that and Mark or Cristal didn't see Alexis behind the fence, so I think she's going to get away with it for a little bit.
For a little while.
For a little bit.
We'll see. And why is she doing this?
Alexis, I think, well, she just wants to be in control, kind of like Blake.
Does she feel unimportant right now?
Oh, yeah.
For the last couple episodes.
Well, she was listening in on Fallon and Cristal having the heart-to-heart, and Fallon's like, where were you my whole life? I wish I had a mother like you.
Exactly. That was like a heartbreaking moment almost for Alexis. I don't want to feel bad for her, but I feel bad, even though, let's be real, easy answer is, yes, it's her fault, but it's like I feel bad for her.
I actually really felt bad for her. And when she took that gun and stuff, I was like, don't kill yourself. But she doesn't feel wanted. Everyone's really mean to her. I mean, she kind of stirs the pot. Well, she does a lot.
But she's like a middle child looking for attention when she does that for me.
Yeah, and she has nowhere else to go.
She doesn't.
And doesn't she technically still kind of own the house a little bit?
Does.
So it's like, she's
it's her
like,
house.
Yeah, so she's kind of like, I have nowhere to go. No one wants me here. What am I doing? Like...
And also, I remember the scene with Sammy Jo and her, and something where and the scene with her and Sammy Jo, I'm talking about 2 episodes ago, right when they go on the trip, when Sammy basically escapes Alexis. Misery loves company, and like Alexis is miserable, and she's trying to kind of want everyone to live in that pain. She was so happy when she had a friend to be hurt with.
Right.
And then even Sammy Jo left, so Alexis feels so alone. We'll find out so much more. There's so much more to talk about in the upcoming episodes that will be. However, right now, let's get into our special segment. Which outfit reflected you the most this scene?
I love all of Alexis's outfits.
Alexis's outfits were so good. Faux fur. We only do faux fur.
Faux fur.
Or we use... the fur that's already been fur, so it's not any new fur. No new fur. # no new fur.
She might be sad, but she looks fantastic. So I love all of her outfits, for sure.
The outfit that reflected the most for me, in the beginning scene, no, it wasn't like the very beginning scene, but the Sammy Jo and Kirby scene where he was doing the photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
His tuxedo, which
good.
I know it's so plain, was so classy and classic that and even though I'm a guy who usually wears a bathrobe, I really liked
where's her robe?
The tuxedo. The robe and rain doesn't mix. And I really like Kirby's outfits, even though Kirby's very clueless. And I mean, not clueless mentally, I mean clueless as in her outfits are very retro in a lot of ways. He's bright.
Yeah. I like her style a little bit better than Fallon's. It's more my style. It's more like, not rocker, but like more vintage.
It's a little vintage.
Yeah.
It's a little punk. There's a little edge to it. It's very Lindsay Lohan before she went crazy. Very Britney Spears before she went crazy. Very Amanda Peele before she went crazy. Let's get into some predictions, please.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Let's talk predictions. Maddie.
Oh my God, I left off on such a crazy note. I hope that Cristal doesn't lose her baby.
Doesn't lose the baby.
I'm just going to predict Alexis doesn't get caught for now.
I agree.
Mark is still going to be alive.
Oof, that's 50-50.
I would like to predict that. And then he's going to have a mental breakdown because people are going to blame him, I think. Because no one's going to know it was Alexis that was behind the fence,
one can know.
right?
I think Blake gets blamed. I think Fallon and Culhane are not done. And I think that this episode is going to be one that's bigger. I think for some reason a new woman is going to come into the picture and tempt Culhane. And so we see Fallon's competitive nature, which is her shark, is her at her best. I think that Blake clearly gets blamed. Alexis gets away. Anders figures it out.
Yes, and Steven, hopefully we find out what country he's in at least.
We just want to know what country he's in.
Yeah.
We just want to know what country he's in.
Yes.
But for now, we know what country you're in. Where can people find you if you want to be found?
I'm on Instagram at Maddie Pocks. Thanks so much, guys, for listeing.
And of course, I am Tehran. Literally, I am Tehran all across the board at IAMTEHRAN. Find me hosting and paneling on a variety and a slew of other AfterBuzz shows. I love what's going on with Dynasty, and I hope you do too. We will be back right here, same Dynasty time, same Dynasty channel. Check us out next week. We'll see you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
Views expressed herein are those of the host only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or listeners.